Those of you that have heard me speak before, a lot of times I'll leave my slides in presentation mode because I'll end up popping back and forth between websites and little videos I want to see. But on the screen is a breakdown of our ecosystem. I was meeting with a client recently, and he said, "Aaron, what do you guys do?" And I said, "We're a real estate company, but first and foremost." He said, "Well, I see you do a monthly 3-day live seminar." I said, "I do, but we don't charge for that. It's free. We hold it at my offices in Indianapolis and in Idaho, and we have investors come. In fact, we just had it this weekend in Indianapolis, and we had investors about 35 that came to Indianapolis in January, braved the snow. We had about 100 on the live stream." And he said, "You don't charge for that?" I said, "No, we don't charge for that. We're not in the real estate seminar company." He said, "Well, do you guys do coaching or mentorships?" I said, "No, we don't do that." I said, "But every Monday I do a Q&A call for my clients so that they can have me look at deals and we can put partnerships together and I can help answer their questions." And so while we have education, we're not a seminar company. While we do partner with investors on stuff, we're just a real estate company. And I started Alpine Property Management 20 years ago this month, January 2005 in Indianapolis. And we have a series of Alpines in North Carolina, Texas, Idaho, Kansas, Missouri, and we're buying and selling deals. Right now, we're buying multifamily, we're buying trailer parks, we're buying RV parks. We're just finished a condo development, so we're doing quite a bit of development. We're completing a $6 million condo development, an $8 million manufactured home community. We're developing an RV park down in Austin, finishing a storage unit development. And so we do a combination of single family home acquisition, development, a lot of different things that we do. And so I had said to Don, and Kendall, with Donald Trump winning this presidential election, I've never been more excited as a real estate investor. Having been through a Trump administration previously, it was an absolute a home run, slam dunk for those of us that are real estate professionals, real estate developers, property managers, real estate investors. And for Donald Trump to win this election again, for us to get a Republican Congress, we're just really excited about all the things that we think are going to happen. And there's some trends in real estate that I wanted to break down for you. Guys, I'm not selling anything tonight. I don't have a package. I don't have a $99 deal, nothing. My goal over the next hour is to connect you to the fire hose and let you get a drink of water based on everything that we're doing in our $100 million plus a year real estate operation. And so I just want to pull back the curtain. I want to give you a window into how we're seeing things and the opportunities that we're seeing. I want to talk about what's happening from a high level in real estate so you can understand. And I want to touch on some of the things that I'm most excited about as a real estate investor. One of the things that I really firmly believe is that every one of you should have some type of a real estate side gig. And if you have the bandwidth, everybody should have some type of stock trading side gig, some kind of an option gig. One of the things that we talked a lot about at our live event over the last 3 days is that our investors who are doing side real estate gigs, what would be examples of that? An Airbnb, buying at tax sales, buying at foreclosure auctions. They're making $500 to $2,000 an hour. Now, assuming that I could show you how to buy at tax sales, assuming that I could walk you through how to be a developer in manufactured homes, how many of you would find 15 hours a month to make an extra $1,000 an hour? Give me a heart emoji or a thumbs up emoji if you would find that time. Okay. And so I want to talk about active strategies that I think are red hot. I also would like to talk about passive strategies. I want to show you how investors are investing passively. And give me a laughing face emoji if you don't have a ton of money, but you're interested, because I want to share with you 5 strategies. If you have less than $10,000 to get into real estate, okay, good. There's a handful of you in that. So I want you to go an hour from now. Man, Aaron, that was informative. I hadn't thought about that. That's interesting. I want to get more information on that. That's how we do business, and with no strings, no packages, no hold back the content. And so I'm glad you're here tonight. And I want to start. Let me actually go into slide presentation, because I want to kick off and break down for you guys some articles that I think are relevant to the real estate landscape. And if you're on Facebook, I have a Facebook page. It's called Alpine Capital Solutions, where I've put the links to these articles if you'd like to get them. Let me pull up the little annotate tab here, because I like to be able to draw on the screen and then have it erase. So there we go. So this is so the first article, this came out end of November after the election. Home builders are cheering Trump's return to the White House. Guys, whether you realize it or not, we have a massive shortage in real estate. A lot of you remember the crash of 2008. At that point, we were overbuilt about 4 million homes, and the reverse is now true. We're short 4 million homes, and we have not kept up. The key number that I track is 1.6 million. If you go back to 1980, we need to have been building about 1.6 million new housing units every year to keep up with immigration, birth rate, and the fact that every year we have a certain percentage of our housing that becomes functionally obsolete and has to get torn down. And so when you look back, going back to 1980, you can see, kind of what we've needed with demand, and then you can see when we've overbuilt and underbuilt. And prior to the 2008 crash, we had been overbuilding the market, 1.8 million, 1.9 million, 2 million in 2007. And so when the markets crashed in 2008, we spent 2009, 2010, 2011 selling off that surplus inventory. And new construction in those years was like under 400,000 housing units. So that wasn't a big deal. But by 2011, we were back to an equilibrium. Guys, 2011 to 2025, okay? 14 years, and we have never built 1.6 million housing units. A few years ago, I thought we were going to be close. And then interest rates spiked because of inflation. And so we still, all the big builders pulled back. We had 1.6 million housing permits that had been pulled a few years ago when interest rates were still at 3 or 4%, and then that has stopped. How many of you give me a thumbs up emoji if you have a 3-4% 30-year mortgage on your house? Okay, if you were able to lock one of those in. And guys, we have a weird gridlock happening in real estate right now, because give me a laughing face emoji if you won't consider selling because you don't want to have a 7% mortgage. So you're stuck in your house at 3%, right? So we have gridlock from people who are like, man, I'm not going from 3 to 7%. I might have considered selling my home, but that's off the table right now. Okay, so we have that group. We also have that, who that's really affecting is our 60 to 70-year-olds. A lot of investors like myself have been waiting for what we call a silver tsunami, because they own a third of the homes in America. But they're not moving either because of the same interest rates. Now, interest rates are not showing any sign of going down anytime soon. If you look back at the past 6 months, the Fed's adjusted the rate twice. And because of concerns about tariffs and what impact they're potentially going to have on inflation, the markets are not super warm and fuzzy about dropping interest rates. And so we don't see any time soon where that's going to change. So then we say, okay, well, where are we going to get some cheap houses? So that's what I kind of want to talk about. Now, in 2012, Wall Street got in the game. And it was interesting to me because I've been doing real estate for 25 years. And the first 12 years of my real estate investing, I could go to foreclosure auctions and just compete against other mom and pop businesses. And in 2012, at the bottom of the real estate market, Wall Street said, "Dude, we got to get in on these single family homes." Guys, I remember, if any of you are familiar with Vegas, in 2005 and 2006 and 2007, they were building brand new homes up in Summerlin on the northwest side of Las Vegas, selling those for about $350,000. By 2012, those had dropped to under 100 grand. And I went in and bought 170 of those at about 70, 80,000 a piece, and they were rented for 1,400 a month. And I ended up selling those 2 years later to a Wall Street fund that was buying single family homes. And I thought I was a genius selling them for 150,000, doubling my money. And of course, those same homes are worth 400,000 to 500,000. So here's what's the problem. When the market crashed in 2008, we had subprime mortgages, liar loans that were easy terms. Banks were giving builders easy money. Banks were giving homeowners easy money. So everybody became a homeowner. Everybody became an investor. That crashed the economy because of the overbuild. And this time around, we haven't kept up at all with homes. And if you look at two graphs, you got a graph that shows home price appreciation that goes like this, and then you got a graph that shows wages that have not kept up. And what's really interesting, if you look at our generations, I'm a Gen Xer, I'm 51. My parents were baby boomers. My grandparents were what they call the greatest generation. My younger employees are millennials. My kids are Gen Z. And guys, millennials are the latest and the longest delayed to mark what we call household formation. Okay, our millennials, if you look at my generation, the Gen Xers, we were buying our first homes in our mid-20s. Those of you that are watching, my boomers, you were probably closer to 20. Your parents were probably right around 20. And now millennials, that's almost slid to 30. And Gen Zs are literally starting to think, maybe I'll never own a home. Maybe I'll be a perpetual renter. So you have to understand the housing shortage that exists. You have to understand why we're gridlocked, because people don't want to sell. You have to understand what's happening with the silver tsunami to understand that as an investor, okay, if you can provide affordable housing, then you literally have a printing press to make money, because we've never had more quality tenants and we've never had more opportunities. So you have to understand that backdrop to really see the opportunity. Now, one thing I want you to do is, guys, when we finish today, I'm going to answer every question. So if you think of a question, put it in Q&A, and I will answer those at the end. So anything that you think of, just feel free to throw in there. The article came out in the middle of December that basically said there's never been a better time to invest in real estate because a lot of these same factors. Here's some other interesting articles. Let me slide this up over here so you guys, there we go. So this is from, oops, my bad. This is from Harvard's Joint Center for Housing Studies. And that's probably my favorite think tank for macro real estate research. They just in December, they put an article that talked about deteriorating rental affordability. Those of you that have tracked rental rates going back to COVID, they've just gone insane. Markets like Indianapolis that have been very linear from a rental standpoint took a huge spike. And so not only are homes going up because we are underbuilt, but we're also severely underbuilt for affordable rental housing. And so those of you that can get into real estate at those affordable segments really have some unique opportunities. This was in the New York Times. It said, can the U.S. climb out of its unprecedented housing crisis? The 2024 market was the slowest in decades for the reasons that we just talked about. Next year's might not be much better. It may come down to how many new homes can be built. All right. Here's the silver tsunami not being able to solve the affordable housing crisis. Homes owned by empty nesters aren't located where they are needed the most. Markets with the most empty nesters are already some of the least expensive, and coastal cities where housing demand is highest have fewer empty nesters. Now, let me just exit out of this real quick, because I brought up a couple more articles that I want to share with you, because I feel like going through some of these articles can be one of the best ways to understand what's happening in real estate. How many of you have heard of ADUs? They're called auxiliary or accessory dwelling units. Give me a thumbs up emoji. Now, when we're talking about solutions to solve the housing crisis, to create affordability, there's two viable solutions that we're making a lot of money from that I want to walk you through as an investor, because this may be something that could turn into a $1,000 an hour side gig for you. If you live in Washington, Oregon, California, Colorado, Idaho, ADUs are becoming a hot topic. They're becoming big. In fact, guys, in Washington in the last year, there were more permits pulled for ADUs than there were for new homes. And people say, what are they? It's putting a tiny home in your backyard. And so imagine putting a tiny home, 4, 5, 6, 7, 800 square feet in your backyard. You can rent it out as a rental. You can use it as a mother-in-law, put your family in it. I've even seen people using them as Airbnbs. They're also big. ADUs are also big on the East Coast. Most of those are used for family. But here's why ADUs are becoming big. And I first heard of them maybe 6 or 7 years ago on the Joint Center for Housing Studies that Harvard has. And think about California. Give me a laughing face emoji if you live in California. Laughing face, because trying to get development done, trying to do anything in real estate it can be a nightmare. So you already know. So let's say that I live in San Jose and I want to do some affordable housing. Maybe I get a federal grant to cover my interest rates. Maybe San Jose says, hey, we'll waive connection fees. We'll let you build cheap, affordable housing. And so all I have to do is go do a public hearing before city council and then get it signed off on. And those of you that have heard of NIMBYism, not in my backyard, all the neighbors show up and they complain about the traffic impact, and they complain about the environmental impact, and they complain about the low-income people living there impact. And so literally development was just getting annihilated at the county level with commissioners, at the city level with city councils, and it was just getting stopped. And so finally states have said, I'm just going to go over the top and I'm just going to eliminate single-family home zoning neighborhoods. And I don't care that your neighborhood has been single-family home. Your next-door neighbor can now put a tiny home in the backyard and rent it out. That's what ADUs are. Now, you may not love that if that's your neighbor who can now put 3 tiny homes in their backyard, but it's a trend that states are using to cut out the zoning approval process and force cities and force counties to allow multifamily. Now, regardless of whether you think they should be allowed to do that, that's a whole different discussion. It's already happening, and it's becoming huge. And California has even made, from this article, California has even done things to make it easier. I could not believe a few weeks ago, San Jose is allowing people, imagine you have your single family home that you bought for $2 million and you can put 4 ADUs in your backyard. So let's say you put 4 ADUs at the expense of like $500,000 a piece. So now you're $4 million into your house. San Jose will let you sell the ADUs in your backyard as condos. So now I sell them for $600,000 or $700,000 a piece, get all my money back plus a chunk of cash, and then I can literally have an HOA in my backyard and collect $100 a month for the HOA. San Jose just allowed that. It's insane. And so this is an interesting trend because it's not just an idea anymore. It's becoming a reality, and it legitimately is making it easy for areas of the country like Seattle, like Chicago, like Minneapolis, like California, like Colorado, that don't want a lot of growth, and very well-organized groups that have stopped low-income or affordable housing, and it's forcing that growth to take place, okay? And so those auxiliary dwelling units, accessory dwelling units is a trend, and it's one that you as an investor really should think about learning and understanding. And then the other article I wanted to share with you is the other way that I think we could solve this affordable housing crisis, and it's in manufactured homes. As I have tracked the number of housing permits going back to about 2010, I kept noticing we never hit that 1.6 million. We never hit it. And by 2017, I realized that I didn't see a path to where we were ever going to dig out of this housing deficit that we had. And I realized that manufactured housing is a pathway to get us out of there. And this is an article from Fortune that talks about how manufactured homes pricing has soared. Now, I have 4 dealerships with Fleetwood, and it's manufactured homes. And I got them in 2018. So we have one here in Idaho, we have one in Missouri, we have one in Indiana, we have one in North Carolina. And we're using these dealerships in a lot of different ways. And let me explain to you why manufactured housing is so interesting. Let me show you an example. So these are some condos that I'm building, and let me just mute this here and show you guys. We started building these in May. As you can see, we got appliances in and kitchens in, and these are my partners on this project. I want to go out to an aerial so you guys can kind of see from the sky. Here we go. Let's see here. There we go. So we've built these townhomes, these condos. Each one has a detached 2-car garage. It's got an attached 1-car garage, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, brand new stick-built construction here in Idaho. Selling them for about $380, $390. But here's the important numbers, and this is what's really interesting. Okay, my cost to build these, just for the construction on the units, is $125 a foot. Okay, that's my cost to build condos or to build affordable homes pretty much anywhere in the country. I can buy a manufactured home from Fleetwood for $50 a square foot. Okay, that's the difference. That's the price. Now, a lot of people are like, well, yeah, it's a manufactured home. It's an inferior home. It's actually not an inferior home. That's one of kind of the misnomers that people don't understand about this industry going back, over the years. It's a rectangle, so it might not be as cute of a home, but same drywall, same framing, same roofing systems, insulation's the same, windows are the same. There's nothing inferior about the home except for the potential you're limited on design. Now, one of the most interesting thing we've been doing, and they cost a little more, about $75 a foot, is they're called cross mods. Okay, we've been putting these in Indiana. We've been putting these in Idaho, and what's different about a cross mod, as you can see, they're cute, right? They look like real houses. Now, let me just show you from the plans on one of these, so you can see how they're different. So here is the floor plan of a cross mod. And you can see it's just a double wide. Here's the right side of the rectangle built in the factory. Here's the left side of the rectangle built in the factory. But what they do differently is they build a garage on site in the front, and then they build a front porch on site. And as you can see, it takes away the rectangle stigma of a manufactured home. And they're modular homes. And they actually also do a pop-up on the roof because the aesthetic is so much better. But I'm able to be all in on these homes for about $100 a square foot. Again, still significantly cheaper. Now, why is that interesting? Well, having built stick-built properties as a developer, single-family homes, condos, you got to really know construction. Okay, you got to have knowledge of a general contractor. Why these are interesting, let me show you a deal that I just did recently. Let me walk you through it because I think it's something that's actually really kind of interesting, really compelling. Let's see here. Just slide this around for you. There we go. So this is a double wide in Idaho that I bought on its own lot. So it comes with a lot and a crappy old double wide. And I closed on it October 25th for $71,000. For $8,000, I can tear this bad boy out. And what I immediately did the same week that I closed on it was I ordered this home from Fleetwood being manufactured in Boise. So I ordered this 5-bedroom, 3-bathroom home. You can see my price on it is $104,000. It's 1,800 square feet. So if you do the math, $100,000, well, $104,000 divided by 1,800 square feet. My cost is $57 a foot for this home. Drywall, that comes with the appliances, that comes with insulation rated for Idaho, okay? Now, obviously, I got to put it on a foundation. I need to put in driveway and sidewalks. I need to put in decks. I need to set the home, crane it in place. My all-in on this deal is about $240,000. That's for the lot. That's for the home. That's everything for a 5-bedroom, 3-bath home here in southeastern Idaho. Now let's look at comps, okay? And we're seeing similar numbers in all the markets that we're in. Comps start at $180 a foot, up to $350 a foot. And so I'm actually, I know I'm not on the $350 end, but $180 a foot puts me at $325. So I'm basically in this home $240 to sell for $325. Now I want to show you something that's interesting about why this asset class is so interesting. So this McKinsey, the think tank, came up with an article just recently, and they talked about modular construction, and what they basically said was, we think this industry is going to grow significantly, and here's why. If I look at those condos that I'm building right now, we went through about 6 months of planning and design. We did a couple months on the foundations. Now we have on-site construction taking place. And then, you're dealing with cost overruns. But on this manufactured home, while I've been putting in the foundation and getting the utilities ready, the home is being built in Boise. And so the timelines are 20 to 50% faster. In addition to the price for the homes is half. And so, this is not your grandma's trailer. These are homes that are built to the same housing and urban development standards that any stick built has to follow. Okay, we have to pull permits the same way. And so McKinsey was saying that in their modeled scenarios, modular construction could grow from 180 billion in 2022 to 540 billion by 2040. And if you're an investor who's like, hey, I'm looking for a side gig, I'm looking for something interesting. What's cool is you don't have to have drywall crews and electrical crews and plumbing crews and roofing crews. That's all happening in the factory. You just get the lot. You need a foundation guy. You need somebody to set the home, somebody to pour concrete. You need about 5 contractors to be a manufactured home developer. And it's half the timeline. And we've been crushing it. Give me a thumbs up emoji or a heart emoji if being all in it for $240,000 to sell for $325 is sexy to you, is something that you would be interested in learning how to do. Okay, it's something that we've figured out how to do over the last 6 years, but that's not the only use for them. We also put single wides and double wides in 55 and older parks, and we flip them. We put brand new ones in all ages parks, and we flip them. And the reason why that's been so good, again, goes back to that article that I just shared with you guys, where this is one of the hottest appreciating asset classes. Okay, and so let me go back to what I had talked about initially in terms of strategies, okay? So these are the 5 active strategies that we're just absolutely crushing right now. And again, I see you putting questions in. Keep putting the questions in. I will happily crank through all of your questions here in a few minutes to answer for you. Manufactured home development is fantastic. We're buying small parcels of land. We're putting the homes in. You know, the timelines, the cost per square foot, the fact that anybody could learn to be in 12 hours, guys. I could teach you how to do manufactured home development. And here's what's really cool: if you live within 7 or 8 hours of Boise, Idaho, 7 or 8 hours of Missouri or Indiana, 7 or 8 hours of North Carolina, Virginia. Not only can we teach you how to do this, but we can ship homes from our 4 dealerships for you. And so I had a friend today that emailed me, said, "Hey, Aaron, I'm thinking about buying this trailer park in Illinois. If I need homes, can I get them through you?" And I said, "Sure." And guys, I'll just do it at cost plus 10%. Okay. And so, you know, if I get it for $50 a foot, I'll sell to you for 55. If you go into a Champion Fleetwood dealer, they're going to be cost plus 50. Cost plus 100, like whatever they think they can gouge you. I also love mobile home flipping. One of the things that we've been doing a lot of, and that we've had clients that they're doing a lot of, is go into a 55 and older park, go into a park. How many of you are not loving Facebook? Who had a Facebook account but you never use it anymore? Give me a laughing face emoji if you have never get on Facebook anymore. Okay. I promise you, you will want to do that now. Let me show you why real quick. Facebook has become the mobile home buying and selling capital of the universe. Let me just show you real quick. You want to go to your Facebook account, and then right up here on the top, I want you to click on Marketplace. Okay, I want you to click on Marketplace, and then over here on the left, I want you to type and manufactured homes for sale. And if you live in anywhere but, you know, like California, you will see that this was a client of mine in Illinois. And look, here's a Bridgeview, Illinois trailer for a couple $1,000. Okay. And so we are using Facebook Marketplace to find trailers to flip in other people's parks. We are using, let me go back to my market here in Idaho. See what's on the market today. And so a good deal in Idaho is anything under 50 grand. Here's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house for 45,000 in Blackfoot, Idaho. Pretty decent shape. Okay. And so we've been making, you know, this is like kind of like those of you who were flipping houses back in the 90s that you could buy for 100,000, under 100. That's what we're doing with manufactured homes. So I love mobile home flipping as a strategy. We're seeing anywhere from 25 to 40% returns on a mobile home flip. I like off-market acquisitions. Okay. Let me show you a website that we're using to find deals, an app that you guys are going to want to download onto your phone. It's called Deal Machine. Deal Machine is, we probably have 40 accounts across our different markets right now for our employees. Deal Machine is a fantastic platform that allows you to identify a property. And let me just show you real quick how it works. And you can, it works even a little bit smoother on the app. So let's say I'm interested in this house that I identify here in Idaho at 3562 Crawford, and I want to get a hold of the owner. Then I can literally, with a couple of clicks, get their cell phone number and call them, or text them, or get their home address and send them. You can click on this open person search. You can find them and see, look, I have their email address. I also have access to their cell phone. You can call them right from the app. Give me a laughing face emoji if someone sent you a letter saying, I want to buy your property in the last year. Or somebody has sent you a postcard saying, do you want to sell your house? Or somebody has text messaged you or called you. That was me, guys. It was me the whole time. And, people say, why would you bother people like that? Because I'm trying to find the person that knows they need to sell their property and hasn't gotten around to it. So maybe you just found out you're getting transferred. Maybe you're going through a divorce. Maybe someone passed away and you have to move. And so we're blasting these text messages, these letters, these calls out every day, and we're finding off-market deals, okay? Oops, let me just get my highlighter back here, okay? So we're finding these off-market acquisitions. And so I love Deal Machine. Definitely consider that app. It costs, but we can show you how to use it. Another thing that I love right now are tax sales and foreclosure auctions. Those are all good. Again, if you haven't ever done tax liens, they're fantastic. Some people say, well, you only have the auction once a year, right? So we stagger. We hit different tax sales in different states. So every month we have a tax sale that we're hitting. Love tax liens. Foreclosures are back. There's no more COVID restrictions. You can't sell the house. All that's gone away. They're back, and it's fantastic. Storage unit micro development is a hot strategy. Let me show you what we're doing with that. Let me just go back to the internet here. So these are prefabricated storage units that I buy in China. And it's a 12 by 20 foot, 5,000 pound rectangle that is shipped over. It's flat packed. We stand them up. We put the doors on them. And we have put them on concrete. We put them on dirt. They don't go on permanent foundations. And I'm getting $200 a month for, by the time I ship it to the US, set it up, I'm into about $7,000. So imagine getting $200 a month for a $7,000 investment. No utilities, most municipalities, most counties see this as a shed. So I'm not even paying for permits. Oh, there's Becca. On these. In fact, let me show you the website we buy these from, because again, guys, we don't hold back the secrets here. You took some time. You're part of the Protect Wealth family. I get these from this website called Boxwell. It's been fantastic. You can see how they're kind of put together here. 5,000 pounds is, it's got a floor in it. It's got a ceiling. And I've bought several hundred of these because the rental rates are so good. I don't even put insurance on them because my tenants have to get renter's insurance for their stuff, but I just have a 5,000 pound steel box. So I'm not concerned about that from that standpoint. And we're actually doing a whole master planned storage park with our Boxwells that looks similar to this, where we're just going to fence it and put lighting and put asphalt and put them in place. And so whether you put one I put them on my trailer parks, I put them at my apartment complexes. That's how they ship in, kind of flat packed like that. And then you literally just pop them up and put them together, and they're fantastic. And so we call it storage micro development. We can walk you through how that's worked for us. It's another interesting active strategy. I had a friend who owned a trailer park, and he had a strip of land that wasn't big enough to put trailers in. And I said to him, hey, I'd love to do some micro development on your dirt and put some China storage units in. And he said, sure. So when they were getting offloaded from the semi truck and set up, he said, well, man, I could have done that. And I said, yeah, man, I'd be happy to sell them to you for $10,000 a piece. And so I just flipped them. I was into them 7, sold them to him for 10. Good for him, good for me. So these micro developments I think are interesting from an active standpoint. Hopefully you're getting some ideas from them. In the short-term rental arena, I love Padsplit. I love Airbnb. I already mentioned ADUs, so I love short-term rentals. Padsplit, if you haven't seen their website and check them out, it's boarding houses. They're a private company that I just took an Airbnb in Indianapolis, unwound it as an Airbnb. I was only making about $2,200-$2,300 a month as an Airbnb, and now I'm making $4,000 a month renting the rooms out per week. like a boarding house. So I now have a 5-bedroom, 3-bath boarding house. I'm getting $200 to $300 per week. They share the bathrooms, they share the kitchen. Padsplit puts the people in them. And so I've been unwinding my Airbnbs and converting them over to boarding houses using Padsplit to source my tenants and put them in for me. And so, the final thing is I love subject to. If you're not familiar with that, that's where you're going to use a land trust or a land contract to keep that 4% mortgage in place on a seller finance deal. And so, again, these are the strategies in our 6 or 7 markets that we used to make $100 million plus last year. And I'm sure you guys have a ton of questions about them. And today we're going to give you guys access because every Monday I do a Q&A session for my investors who are doing these strategies. Once a month we do a 3-day talk about these free seminar you guys are all going to get access to as part of the call tonight. Because how many of you are like, I'd like to learn at least one or more of these strategies? Who would love to get some more information? Give me a thumbs up or a heart emoji if the high school teacher in me has intrigued you. Good. Okay. Again, we're just trying to stay high level on this tonight. I'm like the Willy Wonka of real estate, guys. I want to invite you into my chocolate factory, show you how my Oompa Loompas are making chocolate, and then let you decide what is most interesting to you. Why is that good for me? Guys, on my Q&A call this week, one of our investors brought a deal, and they have you like that? That was a thumbs up laugh face. Okay. They have a friend who's behind on their mortgage. They owe about $80,000 on the mortgage. House is worth over $200,000. And they were like, what can I do with it? And so I said, well, we could keep him in the house, have him rent it back. Long story short, I'm going to put up the $80,000 to buy him out of the deal, pay them current so it doesn't ruin their credit. They're about 5 months behind. And then we're going to partner on that to go do the flip. And so how many of you would be willing to go out and find RV parks and mobile home parks and lots that we could put manufactured homes in, or places that we could put storage units in? Who would be interested in being the bird dog for us if we put up the money and you would do all the sweat equity? Okay. That's what we do on the active side with many, many of our investors. And so that's why we invest time in our 3-day seminar. That's why we do the calls every Monday. It's exactly why we do that. Now, let me show you what I think are the 5 best passive strategies for investors. How are our clients give me a heart emoji if you're kind of more passive. You're like, yeah, that's interesting, Aaron. I don't want to order storage units from China. I'd like to see how I could invest more into real estate passively, or maybe you'd like both active and passive. Here's what I think is interesting for passive. I love RV and mobile home for passive investing. You notice I do not have short-term rentals on here. Guys, a short-term rental is not a passive investment. Just like residential assisted living is not a passive investment. Somebody asked me this weekend, well, I'm thinking about doing a halfway house for transitioning ex-cons. Those are good businesses, guys. They are not passive investments. When you buy an Airbnb, you're buying a little mini hotel. When you buy a residential assisted living center, you're buying a little retirement center. That's a business. I don't want you to get confused with passive and active, okay? I love RV and mobile home parks, and I especially love 55 and older as really good passive investments. For those of you that are familiar with cap rate, those are easily 10 cap type projects that we're doing. I love multifamily right now, especially when you can combine it with subject to. I just bought an apartment complex. We were able to keep their 4% rate from their mortgage and assume it when we bought the apartment complex from them. So that's a great passive strategy that I love right now. Single family is phenomenal. We've been selling single family properties to our investors going back to 2009. We've been hosting events at my offices going back to 2009. Becca's been there for all of them. She just joined us. I'm going to introduce her in a minute here. We are focusing on Idaho, Missouri, Indiana, Ohio, North Carolina. I also love Alabama. My sneaky best passive new area for investment right now is not the Sun Belt, okay? I hate Florida because of hurricane insurance. I hate Texas because of property tax and hurricane insurance. I hate, Arizona and California because it's all appreciated so high, you can't make any money off the rents. I love Appalachia. So think, you guys are all thinking Deliverance, with no shoes and cut off jeans. And okay, Appalachia is insane, guys. There's no hurricanes, there's no forest fires, there's no freeze breaks. Insurance is cheap. It's the new Sun Belt for retirees. We're seeing a migration of people who moved to Florida and they're like, it's too hot. I just had a hurricane. It sucks. I'm not doing that again. My insurance is, $5,000 for a single family home in Florida, and it's $900 in Appalachia. And so that's a sneaky new trend for retirees, for boomers, is they're moving there. Okay. Partnering is a great way to get in passive. We have an Alpine client who, on our Monday Q&A session, guys, she brought me an RV park in Austin, Texas. And, I said, man, I hate Texas, but she said, it's right by Tesla. And I said, all right, fine, let me look at it. $700,000, and it was bringing in like $6,000 a month. And I'm like, not interested. But as I dug in on it, I realized that it could easily bring in $15,000 to $20,000 a month. Last month, the RV park brought in $19,000. I put up the down payment money to buy it. I showed her how to get a loan from a local bank. She was willing to manage the RV park. We have it listed on the market right now for $1.9 million. A couple of weeks ago, we turned down an offer for 1.6. Give me a thumbs up emoji if you'd be interested in partnering on a project like that, if you'd be interested in doing the work on that. Okay. That's something that we do a lot of here at Alpine. Now, I want to show you a syndication project that we've done, because how many of you, thumbs up emoji, have invested in a 506B syndication or in a private equity deal? Who has invested in those at some point? Okay, we do those as well. And let me show you an example of one that we just are completing. This, let's see, is not it. Let me go to my channel here. Let's see. Here it is. So this was a trailer park. Let me go back here. That was a dumpy old trailer park that we bought. And using my Fleetwood dealership, we put in 38 brand new 3-bedroom, 2-bath manufactured homes. There was a commercial building in place. There was the commercial building here, the Humane Society here, a duplex here. All of this was just a vacant lot, and there was 15 just old trailers on this part when I bought it. We ripped everything out. We kept the commercial building. We added a laundromat here. We made it into 3 little 1-bedroom apartments. We have an apartment in the back. Humane Society rents the front. We converted this into storage. We did all new water lines, all new sewer lines. We put in a brand new road, 38 brand new homes from the dealership. And we did it all in one LLC. That's what a syndication is. And so there was about 40 investors that put up the $5 million, $6 million to do this project. We just turned down an offer for $8 million. We're getting ready to list it here February 1, probably for about $8.5, $9 million. And so when and if we sell it, the investors will get their 100, 200,000 back and with their profits and on to the next project. And so partnership through a syndication can be a really great way to invest passively. There was no debt on this project. It was all cash. It was all of our clients. Some of the bad syndications that I've seen lately were ones that had debt and then they couldn't refi because interest rates had gone up, and they really struggled on those. And so I love syndication right now as a way to invest passively. Private equity is very interesting as well. Last two areas of passive strategies I like: partnering and active and passive partners. It's called a GP-LP structure, and we do a lot of those as well. And so these are not only strategies that we like, but they're ones that we teach our investors and that we give you opportunities to do with us. We sell properties to our investors, single family. We sell multifamily. We sell pad splits if you're interested in buying a pad split. And then we offer syndications. Okay. So one of the reasons why we give the education away on our weekly Zoom calls, one of the reasons why we do our monthly event for free is because down the road, you're going to find us deals or you're going to need deals, and we make money at the deal level. Give me a thumbs up emoji if that helps you kind of understand, who is this guy? Why would I be interested? And what does he do? Okay. That's what we do. Now, these are the 5 best broke folks strategies. Okay, so if you have less than $10,000, download Deal Machine, watch their training videos, and find deals. Okay, and then flip them to guys like me. If you have less than $10,000, get on Facebook Marketplace, find a single wide in somebody's park, buy it, fix it, and flip it. That's something we'd love to show you how to do. Becca's husband, Fred, is an expert at flipping mobile homes. If you have less than $10,000, get on Boxwell, order a storage unit for $7,000 and start renting it out for $200 a month. Great return on investment. Or do a pad split. Okay. And also, the other area for folks that we need people who don't have a lot of money outside retirement accounts, but they have a pretty good amount of money inside retirement accounts. And we spend a lot of time teaching investors how they can use the money that's in those accounts to get into investing. Now, I wanna have Becca introduce herself and talk about what she does, because I know that a lot of you have questions. I know that you guys are interested. And let me unshare real quick so you guys can see her better, so we can interview her. So Becca has worked for my company for almost 20 years. No, over 20 years. No,
Yeah.
just under 20 years, like 18 years, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, almost 18.
So 18 years, and literally this week, Becca has like 25 one-on-ones, don't you?
Yes. Now it's up to like 32, but
It's
yes.
30. When you work with me, you're always more busy than you ever thought you would be. And so
Indeed.
one of the things that we've talked about so many things. A lot of people are like, and that was interesting, and I'm overwhelmed with that, and I liked everything you were saying. So one of the things we do is, if you're interested in learning more about any of these things, or you'd like to attend our Monday call, or you'd like to attend our monthly event, then Becca is the starting point, and she does one-on-one real estate consultations, absolutely free, with our investors. Talk about that. How long are those usually? What kinds of things do you cover? Why are those so valuable for our clients?
Yeah, so there's really no itinerary. Honestly, I have people that bring me deals they're analyzing, their situation specifically. We discuss maybe what is their next best step. Coming to our events, what does that look like? Getting on that Monday real estate call. So really, it's anything and everything real estate. It's usually about 30 minutes, but it's not tied to that. A lot of people then schedule another one after they start, working through the information I've sent them, or, maybe other things they're looking at. So yeah.
So every one of you tonight will have a chance to, we're going to give you Becca's Calendly link. We're going to give you her email. We'll have Kendall go ahead and post it in chat as well, Rebecca@alpinecs.com. And we want each one of you we are a big believer in one-on-one calls. Come to our live event. That's why we're not selling anything. I'm not selling deals tonight. We never sell packages or mentorships or anything like that. We just have real estate deals if you're interested, or we're open to partnership. And so Becca's a really great starting point. So I wanted you guys to have a name to a face. Becky, what percentage of our clients are using retirement funds to invest in real estate, would you say?
I'd say about 65% use a self-directed IRA to purchase properties with us. Yeah.
So give me a thumbs up emoji if you have a self-directed IRA currently that you set up, or a self-directed solo 401k if you have
Oh, that's
either.
awesome.
Yeah. And then give me a laughing face emoji if you don't know what it is or you don't have one.
Which is fair.
Yeah. Cool. So the other thing we're going to give you tonight is we're going to give each one of you guys 2 free self-directed IRAs. We're going to set it up for you.
Ooh, that's
Yeah.
huge.
And we're going to give you a consult on that as well with Mandy from the IRA Club, where we've been working with the IRA Club for 12 years. So just from this call tonight, hopefully, I've covered enough topics that you're like, I'd like to know more about that. I'm more interested in that. We're going to also give you guys 2 free self-directed IRAs and a one-on-one so you can know how to set them up. Now, I have my sons have had them since they were very little. I know Becca's kids have them. And so if you already have one, you could use it for your kids. You could use it for your grandkids. Maybe you have
100%.
traditional, but you don't have a Roth. And so we're going to give you 2 of those tonight because we really want you guys to get moving forward. We love Protect Wealth. We love Don. We love Kendall. We've known them a long time. We trust them. They are good people. Give me a heart emoji if you are just the biggest fan of this organization. Yeah. Yeah. My
They're the
favorite,
best.
every time I see Don, he says, Aaron, how are you? That's my best. That's my best Don imitation. Aaron,
Oh,
how
he's the
are you?
best.
But he's so sincere. He's just
Right.
a pure love. Kendall, not so much. No, just
No,
kidding.
Kendall's the best.
But Don is pure love. We love Protect Wealth. They're like family to us, and our families have been on cruises together, and we've pre-COVID we were doing the cruises like 3 times, at least 2 or 3 times a year. They were amazing.
Yeah, we
We
need
need
to
to
bring him
bring that
back.
back. Yeah,
I
Jinx.
agree. Let's do it.
We need to bring it back, Don. We need
Go,
a
Don.
2025 Protect Wealth Cruise reunion.
Let's
That
do
needs
it.
to happen.
On it.
You like that? You like
Yeah, I'll make it happen.
Guys,
Yes.
the only problem with the Protect Wealth Cruise is when Don would break out the thong.
Oh, Aaron. Oh my God.
That was the
He
part.
never did that.
No, he never did that. Okay, so Kendall has put a link up. Let me show you guys what we've put together here. Let me share my screen because I want to walk you through the package that we put together. We love the Protect Wealth folks so much that we put together what I think is a really cool. Now you can just click on the link. It's protectwealth.com/Aaron. And it's going to take you to this landing page. We have, again, nothing is for sale. This is all free. There's no bait and switch, guys. We have $100 million a year real estate company. We definitely can afford for you to come spend a few days with us. Now, first thing that we have is I have a 3 secrets video. These are the 3 secrets that my wealthy clients are using. That's going to be on the landing page. You have 2 options. One, you can just book a one-on-one with Becca. No strings attached if you'd like to talk to her. How many of you are interested in attending our 3-day monthly in-person or virtual event? Who's interested in that? Okay. And so we have the link for that. Again, Becca is the one who can not only answer all of your questions, but she can book you for the event. Here's everything that we're going to give you today, just because you are in the Protect Wealth family. You're going to get access to our event. It is a $10,000 package that people sell. We give it to you for free because you're Protect Wealth. We're going to give you 2 free self-directed IRAs and a one-on-one. We are going to give you my weekly Monday calls. Who is like, man, I'd like to attend those Monday calls that you do, Aaron. I think those are really interesting. I got questions. I want you to look at deals. I'm interested in having you fund a deal for me or put me with a partner. Okay. And then we also have this community. It's called our Second Mountain Master Community. We're going to give you access to it. And you can see here every week we do the weekly, we call it our hot seats. Okay. So hot seats is our Monday Zoom. And you can email me deals. You can send me a video. We can run the numbers on projects. We get 300 to 400 investors every week that join us on Mondays. If it's when you are working, we also upload the recording. So you can see from yesterday, here is the Zoom recording from our call yesterday from the hot seat calls. And so as part of this community, we're going to give you access to my personal email, my personal cell, so that you can send the deals and be part of that. And we feel like people always say, hey, I need mentorship. I need to find ways to raise money for my deals. We're going to give you that as part of this today. We also have a private Facebook group that we'll give you a link to. So just for you taking the time out of your schedule, we basically have a $16,000 package. It's free. It's not $99. It's not $299. It's not $39.99. It's absolutely free. And just click on this link to lock this down tonight. Give me some love, heart emojis if you're like, that's really cool, Aaron. Thank you. Okay. This is how I pay it forward. This is, I've been blessed. We have an amazing company. 25 years ago, I was teaching high school. And so for me to be in this position, to still teach and to still pay it forward and to still help others, this is how we do it. And this is why we do it. And that's why we're here. And so the reason we call this our second mountain climbers community is a lot of you know Clint and Toby from Anderson Business Advisors. And a couple years ago, I was telling Toby how I had started a 501c3 for youth sports, put a couple $1 million, built a facility. Guys, I still coach the local high school volleyball team. And Toby told me about this book on Amazon. I want to show it to you guys. It's called The Second Mountain. It's a book by David Brooks. And The Quest for a Moral Life. And the whole premise behind this book is that the first mountain in life is your kids, your health, your career, your faith. It's an ethos of you, of self. And the second mountain in life is an ethos of living your life as a gift to others, creating a legacy, making a difference. And so for me, my second mountain has been coaching. When I started this real estate journey 25 years ago, I was teaching high school. I coached high school volleyball. I coached college volleyball. And so I literally, here in Southeast Idaho, I run the volleyball club. We have 15 teams in the club. I coach the high school team. We just finished second in the state this year for Idaho Falls High School. And, we have 15 kids that got full rides to play volleyball that played in the club for us. And I built a gym for the club, and
it's a YMCA. Don't let them fool you. It's a literal YMCA.
Yeah, we subsidize 80% of the costs from it. And so we see this real estate also as part of my second mountain. It's paying forward what I've been able to do with my real estate career. And so we want you guys to be part of this ecosystem that we have. And so if you are more active and want to learn to make more money in real estate, we're happy to help you with that. If you want to invest passively, we have deals and partnerships that you can invest in. If you want just the education, we have Zoom trainings, virtual trainings, and live. So we just want to be a resource for you from a real estate standpoint. We don't charge you to affiliate with us. And so hopefully that resonates with you, and you can click on the link and get registered and kick that off with Becca. We're out of time. An hour has flown by. Hopefully this is an introduction. I do want to answer some of the questions. And Becca, thank you for stopping by. Everybody give Becca.
Yes, thank you. I'm excited to meet you guys. I've gotten a ton of emails already, so I look forward to it.
So now you have name and a face. Go to protectwealth.com/Aaron, or just email Rebecca, REBECCA @alpinecapitalsolutions.com. You can email her directly if you don't want to go click on the link. But we want to make sure that you get access to that and join us. So let me cruise through some of the questions here. Thanks, Beck. Let me answer as many of these as I can. If you had questions that popped up, feel free to ask those right now, and I'll happily answer those. Tara said, what about all of the laws being passed that are making it be a landlord more difficult, more tenant-friendly, anti-landlord laws, rent control ordinances against Airbnb? Yeah, certainly that's part of what needs to be navigated, but that's more than offset by the lack of affordable housing that we have. And so I've never seen the amount of qualified tenants that we have. You literally have Gen Z that are thinking about never owning a home and renting forever. That's why Wall Street is doing new construction. They went from buying houses to building them, because Wall Street realizes that we're having a generational shift about housing. And if you go back to pre-Fannie Freddie days, only 4 in 10 Americans owned a home. That peaked probably at 7 in 10 right before the crash in 2007, and it's dropped back down to about 6 in 10. And I think the trend is unless we just can produce millions of manufactured homes for cheap, I think the trend is going to be more of us becoming a nation of renters. So those of us that can be the landlords are really sitting in the catbird seat from that standpoint. Mike said, what is Aaron thoughts about manufactured home made in China? My problem is everything I've seen, whether it's a container home or like the boxable homes that pop up, it's price per square foot. And I haven't seen anything less than $50 a square foot built anywhere but here in the US. And so I don't like the containers. I don't like the boxables because they are trendy, but the price per square foot's over 100. And so from my standpoint, I can stick built for that price. I don't love that. Bob said, looking for passive investment, please discuss the pros and cons of large multifamily apartment complex versus manufactured home developments versus mobile home parks. So large manufactured apartment complex debt is pretty expensive on those right now. You're looking at 7 or 8% for long-term debt, unless you have a huge down payment. The thing that I like about manufactured and mobile is you can build a portfolio and do it without having to pay such a high cost of capital. I also think that when you buy a big apartment complex, which I have several of them, 400 doors worth, it's very difficult to liquidate part of it. So when I own a trailer park, I can sell off the individual homes to the renters and just collect lot rent for concrete or for dirt. When I have a manufactured home community, I can again do the same thing, sell off the home. So it's easy to get partial liquidity. If you look at that project that we just completed, not only that, I noticed one of the topics that Don had was cost segregation. And guys, I had a $1.2 million trailer park that I did a cost seg, and it came back at $1 million in personal property that I was able to write off against earned income. And so there's higher potential for partial liquidity with manufactured home developments and mobile home parks than there is on the apartment complex. It's tough to condo the units and sell them off. So it's an all rental property until you sell the whole property. And then I find that the debt piece is a lot more expensive. Let's see. Aaron, manufactured homes historically decrease in value and construction home increase in value. That is not true. That is absolutely not true. In fact, there's numerous articles that have talked about appreciation rates of manufactured homes. My favorite example is the mobile home park in Malibu, assuming it didn't burn down last week, but where they're selling homes for $2 million. Regularly, when we flip mobile homes, I buy homes from the 70s, 80s, and 90s that sold for under $20,000. I fix them up and I sell them for $70,000 to $150,000. That's real appreciation. That's how it works on a stick-built home. The only difference is whether or not I own the land. And so, I've heard guys like Grant Cardone say that, and it's just absolutely not true. Iris, North Carolina, Texas, Idaho, Indiana, Kansas. Are these the only states you are interested in working with? Is Florida? Florida is not an option. I hate Florida. No, I'm just kidding. I like Florida for very short term. Florida is okay for development, but I'm really soft on Florida right now. I think Florida is it upwardly trended in the 80s and 90s. We've seen the Florida peak because I don't see insurance changing. There's only one insurance company operating in the state of Florida. If you're a homeowner and you need insurance, that's great, but I think it's landlord unfriendly. And so until that governor and that Republican administration in Florida figures out they need to subsidize insurance, I don't see Florida as being, when you can go up to Georgia, up to Tennessee, up to West Virginia, Appalachia, and do so much better. I don't love it. Let's see. Val said, how will tariffs on China affect your storage unit purchase? It could bump them up, but I feel like they're so cheap that even if they went up 30, 40, 50%, they still pencil because our cap rate on them is like 30 to 40. But we can stick build them pretty cheap as well. I guess that would potentially come in. It's kind of like a wait and see. Have to see how that goes down. Great point though, Val. Casey, do you have to provide bathrooms for that? For what? Oh, for the micro storage. No. Nope. No bathrooms. Is reaching out to banks, mortgage companies for their foreclosures a good idea? It is. Yep. And there's like foreclosure.com can get you lists. We've done really well with pre-foreclosure, people who are in default, and we make the payments current, and then subject to, so we keep that 4% interest in place, get them out of the property onto something else, and we've done really well with that strategy in pre-foreclosure. How do tenants' rights affect Padsplit units? So it doesn't affect it. They still have tenants' rights, but it's a short-term rental, so it's kind of a hybrid treatment. It's more like what you would have. We're talking about 12 weeks. Although what's interesting is I have several Padsplit tenants that are now the 1 year, 18 months, 2 year mark, and so it's interesting. But they still would technically have to be evicted if they dug their heels in and didn't move. We need you to have a dealership closer to Mississippi, Gulf Coast, so we can work with you too. There's actually a real legacy homes out of Texas is, we have a relationship with them. Check out their website. They have some really cool workforce housing, and they have a single wide duplex. That's really cool. We've bought a few of those. Legacy homes down in Florida. David said, how does the Padsplit work? You give them the home or they rent with your permission? Yeah, so you set it up to their standards. They rent it out for you. They keep like 8% of the rent. And then you have to figure out maintenance, utilities, and personally inspect it. So I find that my management fees on a Padsplit are about half of what they were for an Airbnb. What are Appalachian states? Where are Appalachian states? Yeah, North Carolina, Georgia, kind of that eastern seaboard inland. So if you ask the Google, it can show you pretty easily. How close do we have to live to the park to be able to do all the sweat work? I'd like you at least within an hour or so. Yeah. Are all of Alpine's projects open to non-accredited investors? Most of them are. Most of them are. Not all of them. What are the challenges in locating tenants, owners for manufactured homes compared to stick builds? Anymore, there are no challenges. It used to be a challenge pre-2018, but when you're short 4 to 6 million homes, you have people let me give you an example. I run the volleyball club. I have a husband and wife that coach for me. They were 16-year renters. Their kids were in high school. They had never owned a home. And they finally said, a manufactured home in a park was our only path to home ownership. And they actually pay me a mortgage payment every month for one of my double wides. But they wouldn't have considered it if houses hadn't gone up so crazy compared to their wages. And so a lot of people who used to not consider it are now very much considering it. My ex-husband is only interested in the thickness of your gold chain and a clear pin. So those of you that know Travis and Lou, my partners in India, they got me this matching set of 22 karat gold. And, volleyball coaches in Idaho should all be wearing 50,000 in ice. Donald said, what do you think of Section 8? I like Section 8 when it's less than 15% of my total portfolio. I don't like it as a sole strategy. I've had Section 8 tenants just annihilate my properties. I've had Section 8 offices randomly cut my rents or be a real pain in the ass on work that I have to do. but I like it. I like it as part, but just not more than 15% of anything that we do. So I have some Section 8s, and they're fine, but it's not a sole strategy. How do the banks treat manufactured homes for mortgages? Great. We can give you all the lenders. You can get a 3% FHA home in a mobile home park. We can show you how to do that, not even on a foundation. You can get a 3% down FHA loan on a single wide in a park when they don't own the land. And so certainly lending comes up, but again, we've been doing it for 6-7 years now. We can help you navigate that very easily. Rhode Island is not tax friendly. It's not particularly landlord friendly. So I'm not a New England fan, and Rhode Island I'm not a fan of. For passive. For active, though, you can do really well in Rhode Island. So in my mind, I'm like, is it good for holding versus can I make some money there? So like Florida, I don't really like for active or passive. New England, you can do well active, but not passive. That's kind of how I sort things. Manufactured homes are limited by the county, correct? Meaning only if they allow them. No, a lot of times it's the conversation that you have. So I was talking to a county recently, and I said to them, hey, I have a modular home that's affordable housing. I want to put it on a permanent foundation that qualifies for FHA. And they said, great, give us the plans. Whereas if I would have walked in and said, do you guys allow manufactured homes? They would have said no. And so part of my process with city and county planning departments is educating them on what we have, because a lot of them don't know. They only know what they've done in the past. Do you have a preferred city in Missouri? Yeah, we like Kansas City. We have a management office in Kansas City. We have about 400 properties that we manage on the Kansas City, Missouri side. So yeah, if you're anywhere in striking range there. What is your minimal investment money? So we let investors do syndication partnership with us for as little as $50,000. We have deals for 60 to about 150,000 individual deals that we can. That's Becca can give you examples of the different projects that we have. Casey, I don't understand the insurance on a 70s, 80s rehabbed if they still want the year, make, model. Yeah, the insurance can be pretty pricey on those older homes, but from a sales standpoint, we're able to get the rents and the sales prices pretty easily, depending on the market, obviously. Jasmine, I'm currently wholesaling land in North Carolina in the surrounding counties of Charlotte. Any particular cities you like here? We like everywhere from Charlotte Metro, from Shelby, all the way up to the Triad. So yeah, we're looking at anything in between there. Kindly tell us the Appalachian states. Okay, let me show you guys real quick, and we're about up on time, but let me share and show you guys. Since I was a high school teacher, I will humor you and show you Appalachia. When the student is ready, the teacher will appear. So Appalachia starts kind of up here in West Virginia, Western Virginia, Eastern Kentucky, Western North Carolina, Eastern Tennessee, Western South Carolina, Northwestern Georgia, all the way down into Alabama. That's your Appalachian corridor that is sexy and red hot right now. Beth said, I'm surprised you're looking in Illinois. We have 4 rentals, but looking to sell and invest in another state. We live next to Naperville if you want help looking. Also, our boys played at Sports Performance Volleyball Club in Aurora. Very cool, Beth. Thank you for the share. I'm not looking in Illinois, but I had an investor bring me a mobile home park to analyze on our Monday call. Illinois is very landlord unfriendly, like you said, very tax unfriendly. Definitely not an area that I like for long-term hold. But we'd love to have you guys 1031. We're always doing a 1031 exchange. Come to our 3-day, meet our team. Becca's always putting together a 1031 for one of our clients. So kindly tell us how Padsplit works. Check out the Padsplit website and then hit me up with any questions on the Monday call. I'll happily answer those for you. I have a great development partner in Shelby. She's killing it there, building single family. Yeah, I'd love to get lots that we could put manufactured homes on. Maybe able to do something there. So is California unfriendly? California is very unfriendly. Yeah. California is unfriendly, but you can do well with ADUs. Texas is tax unfriendly. The property tax sucks in Texas, and anywhere along Gulf Texas, like in Houston, you're also getting double penalized because you're in a hurricane zone, so you're paying the hurricane insurance. All right, Don, I did it. It's 8:00 and we cleared the questions.
You gave not only good real estate advice, but a nice geography lesson too.
Yeah.
Students, I tell you, we've both Kendall and I have invested with Aaron. We've had so many of our students invest with Aaron. You can tell by his wealth of knowledge. There's not much he can answer, and he won't. And he'll be straight up and truthful. If he likes it, he doesn't. We love what he does. Again, if you click on the chat screen, there are the links. protectwealth.com/Aaron. That's AARON, not ERIN. Click on that. That'll take you to his sign up pages. We can't make it any easier for you to get education training. Aaron, any closing remarks before you call it a night?
No, I think we've really expanded our ecosystem to help people with the active side. We've always had investors that wanted to invest passively with us. And then I started having events where I realized that we had just a great kid at our event this weekend. He's young and doesn't have a lot of money, but man, he's working his butt off. And so we're having him focus on making more money, knowing that if we can get him to $500,000, $1 million in earned income, he's going to turn around and invest with us passively. And so whatever your starting point, like if you don't have the money for a plane ticket and a hotel room to come join us in Indianapolis in a few weeks, then join us on the Zoom and join us on our Monday calls. And so regardless of, if you're a savvy real estate investor, I guarantee you, we got some things that you haven't seen before that we're going to unlock for you. So come join us. February and March will be in Indianapolis at my offices. April, May will be in Idaho. June and July will be back in Indianapolis. August, September, October back in Idaho. So we kind of go back and forth. We have very different real estate operations, and give you a chance to come meet us, meet all my partners, spend 3 days soaking this up. Use that as a starting point. That's why we don't just bring deals out to buy.
Awesome information. Students, take advantage of this. If this rings any bells for you, again, there's nobody we trust more with our students. So thank you for your time tonight. Everyone, Aaron, very much appreciate you.
Yeah, good to meet you.
All right, everyone. Have a great night and watch for future webinars. And for most of you, we will see you on the upcoming the 3-day summit, February 3rd, 4th, 5th. Thanks, Aaron. We'll see you.